In the next few slides, I am going to talk you through how to sign into Microsoft Teams and how to find your way about some parts of Microsoft Teams. That will be followed by a much more detailed video done by another teacher in England, and he will talk you through each of the bits in a bit more detail. Right, so step one, on your iPads, what you're looking for is you're looking for Microsoft Teams. So remember, you might find that somewhere else on your screen, or you can do the wee trick where you drag down from anywhere on the screen, so from the middle of the screen and pull down, and then you can do a search for it if you've got quite a lot of apps. Okay, so it should be quite easy to find. So you tap and open that, and then you should have done this previously, but if you haven't, make sure you have signed into your Glow account. So you've put in your Glow username, but very, very importantly, make sure you have at glow.sch.uk at the end and type it in very, very carefully. You will then be taken to the Glow login page where you should see your email still there, your username still there, and then you will be prompted to sign in, put your password in. Okay, so type in your password, hit enter or tap sign in. Right, you might get a message about privacy options. I normally just tap got it. You can read through them if you like, but if you just tap got it, that should take you into Microsoft Teams. Okay, so next part. So we're going to look at using Microsoft Teams. So we're all now in Microsoft Teams, hopefully. And I'm going to tell you how to navigate and how to find the things that you'll need to access your lessons at home. Right, so first thing is, you need to be able to find your classes in Teams. So if you look at the left hand side there, those are all my teams. Okay, so I'm part of not only teams in Knightswood Secondary School, but out with the school as well. And on the right hand side, we've got another panel there. So within that panel, we've got different features, okay, or different tabs. Okay, so sometimes they're called tabs, sometimes they're called buttons. So the first one I've highlighted there is for posts. So anything that's happened within your classes, you'll find information in that post part of it. So it might be lessons that have been put up, it might be assignments that have been shared, there might be announcements from your teacher. So just make sure you keep an eye on that for each of your classes. Right, and from within posts, what you can also do is you can look at something that's been announced and then put a comment in. Or you could make a new post. Okay, I would recommend not making a new post. So if you want to put something in within the post section, make sure you're commenting in something that's already been put up by your teacher, just to keep things nice and neat and nice and clean. Be aware though that whatever you type in there, everyone can see. So just make sure you're being respectful and typing in things that you'd be happy for other people to read. Okay, so this video will show you in a bit more detail some more features of Microsoft Teams.
Hello and welcome to Mr. Tompkins EdTech. In the last video I showed you how to install Teams on your device at home. If you missed that one, you can click on the link up here and go and watch it first. This video is going to show you how to find your class group and how to use it to communicate with your teacher and your classmates. So let's get into it. Now that you've installed Teams, let's take a look around. Firstly, let's take a look at this sidebar running down the left hand side here. Now this is the PC version of Teams. On an iPad it looks a little bit different, and these tabs run along the bottom of the screen instead. Now the first icon is for the Activity tab. The Activity tab shows you your latest notifications, and I'll show you in a later video how you can configure this so you just get the ones you really care about. So watch out for that one. Chat allows you to chat one-to-one with your teacher or another student, or even in small groups. Now lots of schools turn this feature off for students, so don't be surprised if it doesn't work for you. The Teams tab is where you'll find your class or classes that you're part of, along with any other teams the school has set up for you to be included in. And this tab is going to be the main focus of this video. Now depending on how your school is set up, you might only be in one team for your main class, or you might be in lots of different teams for each of your subjects. Now on the PC, these teams are shown as tiles, which you can click on to open. So let's select one and tap on it. So I've now opened this team, and you can see in the left hand panel you have the class name and logo appearing at the top. Underneath you'll find one or more channels listed. There is always a channel called General. In some of your teams though, your teacher may have added more channels to help keep things organised, and you might find that there are different channels for different topics or activities within that class. This group I'm showing here just has the one channel and it's called General. On my iPad it looks a little bit different. Tapping on the Teams tab at the bottom of the screen will show me all the teams I'm a member of listed down the left hand side. I have to first tap on the team I want, and then it's going to show me a list of all the channels inside that team. I then need to tap on the channel within the team I want to open. Back on the PC now, I want to have a look at the different headings across the top here. You can see I've got 5 different tabs showing: Posts, Files, Class Notebook, Assignments and Grades. Now your teacher can add more tabs, so you might find others here too, but a class team always has these 5 to start with. Now I've made separate videos on the class notebooks, the assignments and the grades tab, and your teacher will share those with you if they are going to be using those features with your class. In this video I'm just going to be looking at the first 2, the posts and the files tabs. Now posts is a group chat experience for your class, and if you've ever been part of a WhatsApp group you'll recognise most of the features here. You'll find a number of different conversation threads. Each one is normally about a different topic or discussion point. Notice each thread has a reply button, and at the bottom there is another box for starting a brand new conversation. Your teacher may share some more rules with you around posting to this area, but I'm going to give you some good general advice about using the post section. Firstly, remember this is a group chat and not a private chat you're having with your teacher here. Anything you post in here is going to be viewable by every member of the group, which will include all your classmates, your teacher, maybe even the senior teacher at the school or even the head teacher. So before you type anything in here, first think about whether you would stand up in front of the class and say that thing. If the answer is yes, then go ahead, type it in. But if it's a silly comment meant for one person in the class and not the whole class, maybe it's better you don't. If it's a question you want to ask the teacher, then it could be really useful to ask it here. It might be that other students in the class have the same question, and you asking it will save everyone else the trouble of asking the same question too. Also, if the teacher answers your question, then everyone else gets to read it too, and so will also know the answer. Second, try to reply to existing conversation threads if you can, and don't just start new conversations. This will help keep the posts area organised and easier for everyone to use. So if your question is about a particular piece of work, scroll back and find the conversation thread where the teacher gave out that work and reply to that thread. Only start a new conversation if you're sure there is not a relevant thread that you can reply to. Third, try to be really polite. It's very easy to cause offence when writing comments online. It's amazing how much of our normal communication is non-verbal. Our facial expressions, our gestures, our tone of voice, all these give extra meaning to the words we say, and these are all missing from typed messages. So it's really easy to be misunderstood, for jokes to backfire, and for people to take offence from what you've written. Write properly in full sentences, ask questions respectfully, and if someone helps you, try to acknowledge that help with a thank you or a thumbs up. Emojis can really help here as they give extra visual clues about our intentions, but just don't overdo it. Finally, try to be helpful. If one of your classmates asks a question and the teacher hasn't responded yet, but you know the answer to it, why not give them a hand? Remember, if it's about the homework or assignment, it's better to give a hint rather than just telling them your answer. That's not really helping them to understand. But a helpful nudge in the right direction is going to be appreciated by everyone, and it might even get you some extra credit. So, in summary, make it relevant, reply to existing threads, be polite, be helpful. The next tab along is the Files section. This is like a cloud drive for the whole class, and your teacher might post additional resources here for you to use in your lessons. Any documents or worksheets attached to the conversation in the Post section will also appear in here. Again, remember this is a shared area, so any documents uploaded here are going to be viewable by everyone in the class, not just you. Check with your teacher for more details on how they're going to be using this area with you over the coming year. So you now know how to find your class groups within Teams, some rules about posting conversations, and how to find your class files. In later videos I'll be covering the class notebook, assignments and grades, and how to join a live lesson hosted in Teams meetings. So, see you on the next video.
Okay, thank you for watching that. So if you are really stuck, Mr. Tompkins EdTech is actually a really good place to look at in YouTube if you're struggling with how to do something. Right, so just move on. Right, so that concludes this part of the video. So I'm going to end there, and the next part will be how to join lessons or meetings within Teams. So thank you for listening. Goodbye.